Hey guys, bit of a different video today. Instead of weird, trippy videos of random music and some really weird imagery, we're going to be talking about something that I find really interesting because I don't know if you know this. I live in Texas, and I used to live in a place called San Angelo, Texas. It's a town basically in the middle of nowhere. It's really dry. It's like West Texas, so it's always really dry over there. Barely gets any rain. But the reason why I wanted to do this video was because I searched up if there was like any weird like murders or anything in San Angelo because I thought, oh, it's just a nothing town. Turns out there's a murder of Shane Stewart and Sally McNelly that happened in San Angelo, Texas in 1988 on the 4th of July. And I was like, well, shoot, I should go ahead and learn this and figure out what happened and make a video about it. Or at least learn about it. The video part, I just was like, I feel like maybe more people should know about this. The dog's down here right now. She's chewing on something. Anyway, figured I'd go ahead and talk about this considering that it's almost October. And I figured, like, hey, let's talk about something spooky. Like people being murdered. It's a little bit crazy of me, but anyway, let's get started and just get like right into it. Like I said, on July 4th, 1988, Shane Stewart and Sally McNelly, a couple in San Angelo, Texas, decided to go ahead and go to the fireworks show in Lake Nasworthy that was going on at that time. The reason why was because they hadn't seen each other in a while, and they just kind of want to be together. So they're like, 4th of July? Fireworks event at Lake Nasworthy, let's go. I mean, who doesn't want to see fireworks on the 4th of July? So on the 4th of July, they went to Lake Nasworthy and wanted to go ahead and be with each other and stuff like that. Most people, when the cops were reviewing this, said that, oh, everything seemed normal. Like nothing weird happened during that night, nothing suspicious happened that night. Except 4 hours later, at O.C. Fisher Lake, a fisherman said that he heard Sally and Shane over like talking about wanting to get away from those people, and I just didn't want to be around that place at that time. So he thought kind of like, oh, maybe they just don't want to be at a party. They're a couple of kids. Maybe they just want to leave and get out of there. I mean, it's the 4th of July. Everyone's going crazy anyway. That's at least what I think. I don't fully know what the guy actually thought. I don't know what he said. I couldn't find too much information about him. All I know is that, like, there's one report that says it, and like, oh. Okay. Now, before I get into, like, how they were murdered, I figured I'd go ahead and do a background on them. So, before the 4th of July incident and all that stuff happened, Shane and Sally Stewart were a young couple that wanted to go ahead and party a lot. And most of the time, you would think, oh, we'll just go ahead and party. Oh, excuse me. We'll go ahead and party at someone's house. But apparently their friends and family say that they were apparently in a cult. Okay, so this was around the 80s of the Satanic Panic, and I don't know how accurate you'd call it a cult, but if it is a cult or like they're doing some weird rituals and stuff like that, yeah, I'd definitely say it's a cult. But apparently, when one of Sally's friends was invited to this event, like one of the events anyway, where like she went ahead and was like, sure, I'll go to like your weird cult thing for some reason. So they were like, she said that Sally was not herself at the party. Like, whenever she was there, it's almost like she was a completely different person. Shane's mother also said that whenever he was invited to these events, he wasn't acting normal afterwards. So it's like, yeah, cult make people do evil things, I guess. I don't know. Apparently, they wanted to leave the cult after, I don't know if it was this incident that I'm about to talk about or if it was a different incident, but they never fully elaborate on it. But apparently one night, a sheriff at the Sheriff's County Department in San Angelo gets a call from Shane and Stewart saying that, oh, hey, so our cult went ahead and committed a robbery/murder with a stolen police gun, or like a stolen officer's weapon. But at first the cop didn't believe him, or the sheriff didn't believe him because of how calm their demeanor was, because they were just like so calm whenever they answered him. But he did a background search on the gun and found out that there was a gun missing at that time, and it was reported stolen. And I guess Shane and Sally were like, well, if we get found out by the cult and they get caught, we want to know that we're safe. So they go ahead and, like, I guess ask him if everything's going to be fine. And the cop reassured them, like, yeah, if they ever go after you, we'll get him. Turned out real well, didn't it? So the morning after the 4th of July, a sheriff went ahead and found Shane's car near O.C. Fisher Lake. It was just parked there. But when he went inside, or not went inside, when he checked the car, I guess, he found that the keys were still in the ignition. There's a bunch of fast food wrappers everywhere. And he found a note left by Sally talking about her parents' situation and how she wasn't fully happy with it. Which is very vague, I know. But I couldn't find too much information on the note. If anyone else knows any information about it, please tell me. I'd like to know. So when they went to check that out, it's like a bit suspicious. His car's not at the back of the house, and he's not there, and the keys are in the ignition. A little suspicious. How the bodies were found? Well, actually, I'll just get right into it. The bodies were found like 4 months later by hunters. Sally's was found near, I forget what it's called. It was near a dam down in San Angelo, and apparently Shane's body was dumped like 75 feet away from Sally's body. So Shane and Sally's body, when they were found, there was like a big shotgun shot, like one big shotgun shot in each of the bodies. The weirdest thing I found whenever I was researching this was on the website unsolved.com or whatever it is, like the Unsolved Mysteries, I guess, website. There was a comment that is eerily specific about how Shane and Sally were murdered. It said that 2 men killed Shane and Sally Stewart, and I guess they were shot like after getting in a silver like Firebird Pontiac. It's eerily suspicious. Like, I'll just show you the comment thing on screen so you can read it. But dude, don't try and tell me that that's normal. Like, that wasn't common information to know, like, oh, 2 guys killed him in a silver Firebird Pontiac and stuff, and now one of the men's dead. I'm like, that, you think you should tell the police that if it's real, but since it's on the police, like, if it's on the internet, I don't know how real it actually is, which is the thing I hate most about when doing research about this stuff, is that you don't fully know whether or not if this information's actually true or not. Someone could just be making it up, and I hate it. Basically, the case was dead, like, for several years, like, decades. Anyway, like, it was just not going anywhere. That was until 2017, where a man named by John Cecil, or Cyrus Gilbreth? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, he was found on charges that weren't related to the, like, Shane and Sally Stewart case. Shane Stewart, Sally McNelly case. But when the police went to search his home, they found hair, fingernails, and what could possibly be blood that belonged to Shane and Sally. And they also had a letter that was, like, talking about the murder that happened with Shane and Sally mentioned in it, and also 3 tapes that were labeled SS on it. Apparently, they just found that in the dude's house unrelated to the Shane and Sally case. Like, obviously, he's a person of interest right now. He's real. And, like, the police really want to know what's going on with this dude. even though I haven't found too much information on him. But I think maybe like he's just not willing to give up that information or something like that. He's currently in federal prison, so you don't have to worry about him getting out. But it is definitely really strange that they find that. Like, really strange. And it could be possible that he posted that post. But considering that the comment I found was in like 2022, I don't think he did it unless they just allowed to give him a computer in federal prison, which I highly doubt that's the case. Like, I highly doubt they'd let him have any contact with the outside world after finding out that he could be an accomplice or the murderer of 2 people that happened in 1988. But hey, I don't know. Like, it's real strange. That's all the information I know about this case. But I wanted to tell you guys because it was just really interesting to me, and I thought it was like insanely interesting. And I figured why not tell you guys? If you like this type of content, I'll keep posting more of it, obviously. But I think that's gonna do it for this video right now. I obviously don't know how to do these type of videos. I'm really socially awkward, so. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed learning about this stuff and junk. I enjoy it. Anyway, if you want to see more stuff like this, I have had other video ideas where it's like, oh, maybe I'll do like more music stuff or like more like music-based content, like not me playing music, but me like maybe doing something with music. I have thought about it, but don't expect it to come anytime soon, and don't expect me to make like these weird in-depth videos. I say in-depth, I don't really think I did that much research. I did like the basic amount of research where it's like, oh, I searched up websites and stuff. I didn't go on like chat forums talking about it, or like I watched a couple of videos that talk about it, but there's really not too much that can be found about this case. So I thought it was interesting. If you happen to know anything about the case, please tell the San Angelo Police Department, obviously, and maybe tell me, because I'm curious and want to know about this stuff. Anyway, that's all I have.